Yeah, first thing I want to do is thank the student section for showing up huge. It was great. I think there's almost 3,000 students. They oversold it. It's awesome. It was a night to remember Fluff. His family was here, his parents were here. We asked the student section to show up. They did. Come out of the locker room and see the whole thing packed before 20 minutes before the game for Fluff's, presentation that they did for him. I thought was awesome. So thanks to the student section. Be great if we get the student section to show up like that every night. I think it gives us a huge home court advantage. Our guys played great. This is a quality team. Louisiana Tech, it was a really good game for us out of the gate, plenty to work on, but a lot of positives. I mean, I thought our effort was great. I thought, you look at some of our freshmen. Charles was a little bit in foul trouble, but I think came back in and played well there late. Lofton's tough. I do think our pace hurt Lofton a little bit. I wasn't able to keep up, and obviously he's a lot better in the first half than second. I think he got some injuries or something there in the second half. But, look at J.D. Davidson's stat line, 12, 6, and 6, first game out. I thought he was great. Thought he played really well. Thought he settled in. Did a remarkable job. Some other guys that had reduced roles last year, Juwan Gary, I think, had career high or tied his career high in points and got his career high in rebounds, first double-double since he's been here. He's going to have an increased role. We told him that. He knew that. Played great for us. Darius Miles played really well for us, with an increased role. And Keon Ellis, I think everybody sees how good he can be. Obviously you expect Shackelford and Quinterly with what you've seen, but Keon Ellis getting, more. I mean, shoot, he's plus 37 tonight on the plus minus. That's unheard of. That's like some Herb Jones type stuff there. So a lot of positives all the way around, but it's a good game to open with. Our bigs going to have to learn how to guard without fouling. We'll have to put a lot of pressure on them that way. And I think just our overall pace, our overall unselfishness with sharing the ball was great. Our guards rebounded well. For a team that was the best defensive team in their league and a good league last year, I thought our offense looked pretty good with moving the ball. Got 19 assists and 16 old boards was big for us. So take some questions.
Yeah, that series of the last couple series from Keon, where I think he had the three, then he tipped one in, and he also had the block. I mean, how much does that epitomize what he brings to this team?
Yeah, I mean, he's a really talented offensive player. He goes 3 or 4 from three. He's been shooting lights out in practice. We do this, call it our NBA 100, shoot 100 threes, similar to what you do in an NBA workout. When you're going into workout for a team, all different types of threes. He shot 85 out of 100 at one point last week, which is fairly impressive. So it's the high. He's got, we kind of keep records. That's the high of anybody this year. So him going 3 of 4 is not shocking. I don't think he's going to average 75% from three this year, but he's going to have some more games where he goes 3 of 4, 3 of 5, 2 of 3. He's an efficient scorer. But then, like you said, he's also, getting deflections, blocks, plays so hard on defense. Rebounds the ball. I mean, you look, he had 9 rebounds. There was one, our blue collar point, the Hard Hat Award. He lost it by 1 point to Juwan Gary. It was kind of that rebound, him or Juwan get it. Juwan grabbed it. He would have had 10, and Juwan ended up with 10. So, both those guys got to be got them blue collar guys, and kind of the two of them together maybe replace Herb Jones. Keon can maybe guard 1 through 4. Juwan can maybe guard 2 through 5, something like that. But those two guys together playing really hard, giving us great minutes, and kind of like you said, doing a little bit of everything.
Hey, Coach. You guys had 5 players tonight, scored double digits. What does that say about, first off team chemistry, but also the selflessness of the team and getting the ball around and getting guys that can make shots?
Yeah, and Quinterly, had 9, so we're, and he's going to be in double figures most of the night. He's a one more bucket, one more point away from having 6. So I thought it said how much we want to share the ball. Shackelford, 17, kind of had us going early. Keon Ellis got going there a little bit later in the second half. Those two at 18 and 17, and then, Juwan and JD with 12 each, and Darius Miles comes in off the bench and, just over 16 minutes, scoring 11. I think it shows how deep we can be. We played in the rotation, I think, what do we have, 8 guys in double-digit minutes, and Keon Ambrose gave us some good minutes when we got in foul trouble there. So, and I think Jason Holt will come along. It was needed more depth on the front court than we did kind of in that wing play tonight. But we've got good depth. We've got good players. The ball moves. We had 19 assists. I think, we didn't. We shot it pretty well from 3 tonight, but it wasn't like we went on fire. I mean, we had Keon Ellis shot it well. Cornely could shoot better, but I think the ball's going to move. I think you see we tried to make a point of emphasis on finishing at the rim better. We were 16 and 24 at the rim. We had more assisted at the rim shots, which had been a big point of emphasis with us. So, the one play when JD slashed and got the pass from our 5, I think plays like that are what we're looking for. I thought we did well with what we've been emphasizing.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned the students. Just how special was it not only for what you guys were celebrating tonight, but given what last year was with not that many fans in the stands, how nice was it to have the crowd reaction like that?
That was awesome. I mean, shoot, you had the year you had last year and you only have a couple thousand people in there. Come out tonight and well before the game even starts, you got 2,000 students. That student section's packed. I think, what do we have, over 12,000? I think it says 12,000, 12,600 or something like that. Yeah, it's great. So hopefully we can keep it up. Hopefully we can get some sellouts here. It's the first game of the year too. I mean, you can tell there's excitement around the program. People want to be involved. Our kids went out and played hard. I think there's a product being put on the floor that people like to see. The unsold, even the one play when Juwan missed that corner 3, but the ball moved great, and everybody's cheering even though we missed, because I think our guys are playing the right way and people respect it and they're playing hard. It's a fun style, so I think we got a fun group to watch. Hopefully the student section can be a sellout every game. Hopefully we can get some sellouts going. Some are not. We got a great non-conference slate of games. We start the season 4 straight home games, and then we got Houston at home. That's a pretty good game, and we'll give them some quality games, even non-conference, before we hit SEC play.
Go far left, Tony.
You mentioned that pregame ceremony. Just what's the legacy that Luke leaves on this program?
I mean, he was more than just a fan. He felt like he was part of the program. Like I met him early. He was here early before. There was times he was here for shoot around 4 hours before a game, setting stuff up. You just tell what kind of passion he had. To me, that's what college athletics embodies. Just student that's just all in. Sure, when he came to my house once, like he was great. He was part. He felt like he was part of the family. He wasn't officially a manager. He wasn't on staff. He wasn't a player. He was nothing, but he was part of us. Like, he was at every single game that last year. He came on. I think he drove to Missouri. He made it all over the place. And just hopefully, the spirit of what he was about stays with the student section. I think the administration's done an unbelievable job, moving forward with what he stood for, giving the plaid jacket to the next, let's keep that thing rolling. Give him the seat in the front, and everybody remembers how passionate, and he was passionate about this before we got it rolling. He was passionate about Alabama basketball before he got here. My year 1, he barely missed any games, and we were just real average that year. So it was awesome. The last year that he was able to watch Alabama basketball, we had the year that we had. It was disappointing that we didn't have this place packed for that, but the fact he was there at every game, that was special. So made sure I talked to his family before the game, after the game. I think they were moved by the presentation, the just everybody coming together to honor their son. It was awesome.
All right, we're going to end with 2 more questions. Let's start with Mike Rodak on the line.
Along those lines, you obliged the crowd's request there for Tyler at the end. What was the energy in the building like those last couple minutes?
It was awesome. And you know what? It was great he made his free throws. I thought the play of the game, there's some highlights. This one's not going to make Sports Center, but we're at the free throw line. We miss a free throw, and BJ gets on the floor. And look, BJ and Tyler both were honored at senior night last year. They both graduated. They both were going to be done. We honored them at senior night. They both came back to me within a few weeks of the season and said they enjoyed it so much they wanted to be a part of the program. And I love having them. They're unbelievable kids. We got some really good walk-ons. We got 6 of them this year. because those two, we had already planned on bringing some in, and those those two wanted to do another go around. So I said, come on, man, like they're good at kids as those guys are. We'll bring them around whenever they can. And they both kind of got gap years. I think Tyler's getting into med school and BJ to law school, so they're smart kids that bring a lot. The scout team, so when you get the opportunity to put them in games, let's put them in. Like last year, Tyler's from Kentucky. We put him in when we were up big at Kentucky and Rupp, and he gets to score at Rupp and his home state. I thought that was awesome tonight. Crowd's chanting for. I was ready to put him in, then the crowd I hope they don't start chanting for everybody. They're not going to control all my decisions, but it was nice. Tyler got a little recognition from him. Then we got BJ in there. He gets on the floor and digs out a loose ball rebound and gives it to Tyler. Doug Showers gives us he was going to count that one. If it was remotely close to going in, he was counting that. I liked it. Give Doug a shout out on that one.
All right, last question up front here with Austin.
Hey, Coach, did Kenneth Lofton only playing 20 minutes have any effect on the plus 14 rebound differential, or was it just your team doing a great job on the glass?
Does anybody know what we were in the first half? What was the rebound differential in the first half? I don't have the full box score. You know what? You got that?
25-19, Alabama.
So we were up 6, and when we ended up being up 14, we were on pace to be up 12 with him in the game a lot in the first half. So probably had a little bit, maybe 2 rebounds to do with it. I don't know. Take the analytics out, but look, I'll say this: him being out in the second half definitely had something to do with the overall game. I mean, he was causing us some major problems in the first half. He had 12 points, 8 rebounds. I thought they did a pretty good job getting on the offensive glass in the second half. Some other guys, but I mean, he's a really good player. I mean, I do think our pace hurt him. You could tell he was winded. He was behind a lot of plays, but shoot, when it got in the half court and we had to try to guard him, we had some problems. I mean, we had all of our bigs were in foul trouble. So, I mean, you look at fouls. I think Bediako fouled out, I believe, right? Noah had 4, and Ambrose had 3 in 7 minutes. Like, he was putting some pressure on our bigs. But I thought our guys did a good job. I mean, you look at the rebounds, though. The 4 guards we had, you talk about kind of our main 4 guards with Quinterly, Shackelford, Davidson, and Keon Ellis. They combined for 26 rebounds. So, our guards getting in, rebounding, that was a big point of emphasis. Let's look and see how our guards did compared to their guards. I thought our guards did a great job helping down, rebounding down with our bigs.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks. Appreciate you guys.